chance that you would take a professional bout in the future after Mike, or is that off the table?
It's on it. It's on it. It's been talks. It's been talks. It's possible.
Okay, so not totally against that possibility.
No, not at all. Not at all. But we just don't know.
The prime, I would probably pick Mayweather to win, just like I would probably pick Pacquiao to win, both in the prime.
Ooh, to beat Crawford.
Yeah, I think so.
Prime for prime? Nice.
Yeah. But is Crawford one of the greatest of all time? 100%. Definitely he is.
Number one right now. Number one. This is his generation. This is his timeline. He is the king right now.
Floyd Mayweather has broken his silence on what's next, officially hinting at a 2026 return. He confirmed that his first appearance will be this year in the much-hyped exhibition with Mike Tyson, stressing that it's not a pro bout. But the real bombshell came when he revealed what could follow. After Tyson, Mayweather says he's gearing up for a full professional comeback, with Terence Crawford emerging as a possible opponent. According to Floyd, talks are already underway, and his camp is pushing hard to make this return a reality.
Everything is going great. You know, I feel good. Working hard each and every day. And I can't wait for 2026.
Whenever fantasy matchups are discussed in boxing circles, Floyd Mayweather's name inevitably comes up. Even after hanging up the gloves, his shadow still looms large, and debates over how he would fare against today's top stars never seem to fade. Recently, trainer Robert Garcia weighed in on the hypothetical showdown between Mayweather and Terence Crawford. Garcia pointed out that, despite Floyd's unmatched accomplishments, he never captured undisputed status the way Crawford and Manny Pacquiao did. Still, Garcia admitted that Mayweather's skill set and aura of control in the ring make him lean toward Floyd if such a fight ever took place.
Man, he doesn't need it anymore.
With his accomplishments, the only man to ever do 3 weight divisions undisputed. Is he now a part of the greatest of all time conversation? And not of this era, but of all time.
Definitely is the greatest, one of the greatest of all times. You know, there's still greats out there. There's still, you know, his era or last era, you know, with the Mayweathers, with the Pacquiaos. I think he's, you know, already accomplished more. Pacquiao was 8 division, so we could argue there because Pacquiao was, 8 division is almost impossible, and he did it. Mayweather never became undisputed. He's a 5 division champion, but never became undisputed. Never really followed that unification, stuff like that. So I think when it comes to accomplishments, I think he's already done more.
Robert Garcia was quick to highlight the milestones that distinguished Terence Crawford's career. He noted that Crawford has accomplished something Floyd Mayweather never did, becoming the undisputed champion in a division. Manny Pacquiao also earned recognition by conquering multiple weight classes with undisputed achievements. In Garcia's view, this is the one gap in Mayweather's resume. Floyd's career was built on dominance, an unblemished record, and victories over elite names, but he never collected every belt in a weight class. Garcia stressed this doesn't take away from Mayweather's greatness, but it does reinforce why Crawford deserves to be seen as one of the most complete fighters in the modern era. Still, Garcia admitted that if the two ever squared off, he would side with Mayweather, pointing to Floyd's unmatched defense, timing, and tactical brilliance inside the ring.
I'd probably still pick Mayweather. Both in the prime, I would probably pick Mayweather to win, just like I would probably pick Pacquiao to win, both in the prime.
Ooh, to beat Crawford.
I think so.
Prime for prime? Nice.
Yeah. But is Crawford one of the greatest of all time? 100%. Definitely he is.
With all that said, what can you ultimately say about what occurred and what we saw Saturday night?
It was a great event, great turnout, 70,000 plus people. Gate was fucking insane from what I understand. You know, fucking that's good for boxing, man. Good for boxing, good for all the younger fighters. You know, all these new things going on. I think it's gonna be a positive thing for all the younger fighters.
Adito pointed out that Floyd Mayweather's career can be divided into 2 equally legendary eras. First came Pretty Boy Floyd, the hungry young contender who overwhelmed opponents with blistering speed, relentless offense, and crisp combinations. Later emerged Money Mayweather, the defensive genius and savvy businessman who mastered the pay-per-view stage and turned boxing into a global brand. Olau described Mayweather as a strategist in and out of the ring, shaping both his style and his image to perfection. The Pretty Boy era won fans with risk-taking and highlight reel knockouts. While the Money Mayweather persona fascinated audiences with mind games, technical brilliance, and the ability to turn every fight into a worldwide spectacle. Together, these 2 versions built a legacy that transcends sport. cementing Mayweather not just as a fighter, but as a visionary who helped redefine the business of boxing.
Wait, I'm sorry. He's a genius. He is a fucking... You know, when I get bored with today's crop of boxers, and Terence, to be fair, has kind of helped me out of my boredom, but sometimes I just go on YouTube and I watch the 24/7s, and then I watch the fight. I'm not joking, I watch the whole fucking episodes, and then I watch the fight. And my guy is a genius. A genius. There will always be an argument, oh, you should have fought that person then, and I get it. I get it, right? It's kind of the argument you can't throw at Muhammad Ali, right? You could throw that argument at Floyd. But dude, unbeaten is unbeaten. Unbeaten is unbeaten. Multi-weight world champion is multi-weight world champion. Do you know what I mean? I've never seen a boxer so like, I'm gonna work you out, and then when I work you out, you're done. Shall I repeat that? I'm gonna work you out, and when I work you out, you're done. And Floyd had this thing where first 2 rounds, you think, oh shit, man, this guy's in this fighting, and then he works you out. And then he works you out. Floyd, Pretty Boy Floyd was better than Money, but Money Floyd had obviously the fights, right? In terms of the fights that brought all the eyeballs onto him, Oscar De La Hoya fights, you know what I mean? That Pretty Boy Floyd was like, Diego Corrales is probably the best performance really from Pretty Boy Floyd, right? Corrales, I think, was unbeaten at the time, and look what he did to him. But Money Floyd brought the eyeballs on. That's when he started being controversial. Genius outside the ring in terms of marketing, genius inside the ring in terms of defensively, offensively as well. People don't give him as much credit offensively.
Zab Judah, who once faced Floyd Mayweather in the ring, didn't hold back in naming Terence Crawford as the standout star of this generation. He explained that every era has its defining figure, and right now, Crawford owns that position. Judah recalled Canelo Alvarez's remark that Crawford might even surpass Mayweather, stressing that such a statement carries weight. In Judah's eyes, Crawford has already proven himself by conquering elite opponents across several divisions, all while displaying a complete skill set that nobody has been able to crack. By framing it this way, Judah gave due respect to Floyd's historic achievements, but made it clear that today belongs to Crawford. He acknowledged that cross-era comparisons are inevitable in boxing, yet insisted that Crawford deserves recognition as the leading fighter of the current era.
Number one, this is his generation, this is his timeline. He is the king right now.
Just seeing in the press conference, Canelo said that Crawford's better than Mayweather. What did you think?
He's not lying. He fought him. He should know. How can somebody tell somebody that fought both of these guys, he know?
Yeah.
If anybody would know, Canelo would know.
What do you think's next for both?
I don't know. I think
Too
a
early?
rematch.
You like to see a rematch?
Probably a rematch. I believe so. Rematches always sound good. But in a rematch, it'll be the same thing.
Yeah. Cool.
Matter of fact, in a rematch, I'm predicting stoppage earlier.
Yeah. I think so too.
Yeah, I think so.
Trainer Breadman Edwards took a different stance, pushing back against the constant talk of a Floyd Mayweather versus Terence Crawford matchup. In his view, the idea feels unnecessary and takes away from what Crawford is accomplishing right now. Edwards argued that Crawford has earned the right to be celebrated in his own moment without being tied to fantasy scenarios from the past. He even suggested that if Floyd wanted to entertain a crossover fight for spectacle, a clash with someone like Roy Jones Jr. would generate more intrigue based on their names and history. For Edwards, Crawford is in his prime and should be recognized for the legacy he's building in real time. He emphasized that boxing needs to stop chasing what-ifs and allow Crawford to shine as the face of greatness in this era.
You're never going to get this fight, unfortunately, just two different generations. And I'm not necessarily asking you who would win, but if Floyd and Crawford were to cross paths prime for prime, would you just put that as yeah, that's 50-50, man, I don't know? Or are you just like, I might still give the edge to Floyd?
Man, I don't really want to compare them right now, Hans, if we seeing everything that's going on with Floyd and Roy. You know what I mean? And, they competitive guys. Next thing you know, Bud and Floyd will be mad at each other, man, and wanting to fight because people is like putting them against each other. Let's just enjoy the moment. I don't know. It's a close fight. It's things Floyd do better. It's things that Bud do better. But I'd rather not say, because I'm not going to just lie and just say nothing, like, and make up something just to. I got my opinion on, you know, how the fights would go, and, you know, but I think we should just let the man enjoy his great moment. He's a great fighter. And I see a lot of immature stuff, and I don't like the way things is going with Floyd and Roy. They two guys that a lot of the younger guys look up to, and they taking shots at each other in the media because of the who's better and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, I just want to see Bud enjoy his moment. And, you know, unfortunately, they didn't fight. You know, they could have made, they kind of two different eras, though. Even though they was fighting at the same time, Floyd kind of was doing his different thing over there with PBC, and Bud's a lot young, about 10 years younger than him. So it didn't happen, and we got to just live with it. You know what I mean?
Sean Porter shared his thoughts on the surprising announcement of Floyd Mayweather taking on Mike Tyson, describing it as something closer to a street fight than a traditional boxing contest. He noted that there's genuine tension between the two icons, with old grudges still lingering, and warned that their personal history could make the fight less about skill and more about settling scores. Because of that, Porter doubted any major boxing commission would sanction it as an official bout. In his eyes, while the matchup would certainly draw headlines, it also carries a risk of spiraling into the kind of chaos the sport wants to avoid. Alongside Porter's skepticism, several other analysts criticized the broader trend of exhibition fights featuring legends like Mayweather, Tyson, and even YouTube stars such as Jake Paul. Their concern is that these spectacles often prioritize celebrity appeal over the integrity of competitive boxing.
You don't see this one coming unless you know the history of these two guys.
Yeah, they don't like each other too much, do they, Sean?
When you look at the history, it's kind of like for a street fight. It doesn't make sense for like a in the ring situation, and so it's kind of like, I guess for the sake of words, crazier things have happened, and then now you have to say, well, no, it doesn't get crazier than this.
Yeah, you're not kidding, right? You know, obviously we watched Mike Sean in November against Jake Paul. I think clearly those guys like each other. Floyd and Mike, not so much. Obviously, there's been some tension there over the years. Do you think they go in there, despite the fact that this is an exhibition fight? I mean, do they go in there and do they both try and take each other out?
I don't know what that fight looks like. And, you know, that kind of was my biggest apprehension with coming on with you guys today. It was like, how do you analyze what a fight between Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather could look like, right? So then you think about when Floyd got in the ring with Big Show. We already know, like, we know now more than we've ever known before that the WWE is fake. It's kind of like acceptable. But it wouldn't be acceptable in a boxing ring. You know, it wouldn't be acceptable if there becomes some sort of weird antics and things like that. I mean, I guess I'll have to do what I did once before with Mike and Jake, and I'm gonna go on record for saying this doesn't happen.
Falls apart sometime before.
This doesn't make sense. I don't know. I don't know how you can make it make sense. I don't know how you can make this one make sense.
And to your point, they may have it, but if they have it, they haven't said it yet. There's no date for the fight, no location that's been announced. So,
right.
Many observers also noted that even Jake Paul's exhibition bouts failed to truly satisfy fans, raising questions about why the sport keeps relying on retired legends rather than showcasing its active stars. To critics, this trend exposes a flaw in today's boxing landscape, that the current generation hasn't consistently managed to capture the mainstream spotlight on their own. Some analysts warn that if the sport continues leaning so heavily on nostalgia, it risks drifting further away from its foundation of genuine competition and meaningful matchups.
Stuff like this, no, I didn't like the Jake-Mike fight. I told you guys that. I didn't think Mike should have been fighting then. I don't think he should be fighting now. I don't like the fact that Jake and Gervonta are fighting when Gervonta is a sitting champion. At least these two are retired, but this is an indication, and I've said this over and over, of where boxing is. That this will probably have a ton of intrigue, but it's almost like the WWE rolling out Stone Cold Steve Austin or rest in peace Hulk Hogan whenever they need a big time pop and whenever they need to get the crowd energized because their current stars just aren't hitting the same. This is what boxing feels like right now. Boxing feels like Antiques Roadshow. Honestly, this kind of stuff, that's what it feels like. And again, it's the spectacle, it's the entertainment value, and it is the era of the unpredictable, as Mike says there, but it's not good. I can tell you that. It is not good. This is why we need people like Turkey Al-Sheikh, Eddie Hearn, Oscar De La Hoya, hell, Dana White to come into boxing and fix this shit, because stuff like this and Jake and Gervonta is kind of the norm now. Mike says, I still can't believe Floyd really wants to do this. He added, it's going to be detrimental to his health, but he wants to do it, so it's signed and it's happening. It's not even believable to hear Mike talk like that now. Because yes, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, he'd be right. But we saw Mike struggle to walk into the ring versus Jake. And yeah, Mike was dangerous enough for Jake not to engage with him. But Jake, not engaging with him, just circled and jabbed his way to the ending of an exhibition where both guys get their hand raised, and we all feel like, yeah, that wasn't a fight, because clearly Mike is not the same, and clearly Jake did not want to take that extra step to try to actually put him away.
Joe Rogan shared his take on the complex relationship between Floyd Mayweather and Mike Tyson, suggesting that the bad blood between them has existed since the early days of their careers. Rogan believes that if the two ever did meet in the ring, that tension could completely change Floyd's usual approach. Instead of relying on his trademark defensive style, Rogan speculated that Mayweather might actually push for a knockout to settle the score. While chasing stoppages wasn't something Floyd typically did in the later stages of his career, Rogan pointed out that personal grudges can alter a fighter's mindset. The idea of Floyd stepping outside his comfort zone to prove a point against Tyson is what makes the matchup fascinating, even if it remains more of a fantasy than a likely reality.
Really? So they're not trying to knock each other out?
No, Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather don't like each other. They have not liked each other forever.
Tyson and Mayweather.
Yes.
But they like
Mike Tyson and Mayweather don't like each other.
Huh.
If there's a fight that might be real, like where Mike Tyson might say, I'm going to knock this motherfucker out, or I'm going to try to knock this motherfucker out.
It would be Floyd? They wouldn't fight.
Yeah, because if you look at like the Jake Paul fight, no disrespect, and if you look at the Roy Jones fight, no disrespect.
Yeah.
They look like they were sparring.
Yeah.
Right? It looked like there was agreements made.
Yeah.
Working. I do not know if Mike would honor any of those agreements. Really? If there was a moment
They've
to
had
crack.
beef for years.
Yeah. If there was a moment to really... Could he hit him? I mean, that little motherfucker can move still. At 50 years old, he's so slick.
Yep.
He's still in shape. He's still fit.
They're both old as fuck.
Old as fuck.
But this is the boxing.
How old is Mayweather?
67.
Dude, Bernard
49?
Hopkins was
49.
still at the best in the world at 50.
Yep.
I mean, that's incredible.
That doesn't mean shit, though. With this. Because he was active fighting contenders.
Kentucky's got Gomez on the ground.
You're talking about two retired guys.
Yeah.
Fighting the exhibition.
So
It's just
weird.
money grabs.
It's
just,
so weird,
Yeah, it is weird. It's money grabs. I don't like it, but it's fun. You know, it's something to watch.
I'll hate on it, but I'll tune in.
Yeah, I'll tune in. It's, you know, but it's not really fighting.
So Jake Paul's not going to actually be trying to knock out Gervonta Davis. You know?
There's a reason it says exhibition.
If I had a guess. Yeah. The event itself would be a world-class venue and be presented to a global audience with new in-ring technology elements that will reshape how boxing is presented and scoring is achieved for years to come. What does that mean?
That shit has Abu Dhabi written all over
What does that mean? This is Tyson versus Mayweather. What does that mean? Where are they doing that? Are they doing that in Saudi Arabia?
But of course. Because they have all the money.
My friend.
And they just go, what do you want to see? I'd always like to see Floyd Tyson.
Who wants to fight an alligator?
Ariel Helwani closed the discussion with a practical analysis, saying the Floyd versus Mike fight is unlikely to take place in any official form.
Ariel Helwani wrapped things up with a grounded perspective, noting that a Floyd Mayweather versus Mike Tyson clash is highly unlikely to happen as an officially sanctioned fight. He suggested that most people inside the sport see it strictly as an exhibition designed for spectacle and profit. What really stood out in Helwani's comments was his belief that the Tyson exhibition could simply act as a tune-up, paving the way for Mayweather's potential return in a genuine professional matchup, possibly against Terence Crawford. By presenting the Tyson bout as more of a side attraction, Helwani shifted focus back to the more serious possibility of Floyd stepping into sanctioned competition again.
And Mayweather has been out of the spotlight for a lot longer now. Yeah. I don't think there's interest in it.
Does it happen, GC?
No. Which has more of a chance of happening, Connor? White House card or
White House card seems to be happening. I got to eat my crow on that one. It's tough. Tyson Floyd,
no chance.
Also, even if it does happen, it's just like, who really cares?
Yeah.
Like, it's not them at their highest level. It's an exhibition. Everybody will clown on it when it eventually does happen.
Tyson Jones, there is a way that exhibitions can be fun. Tyson versus Roy Jones was actually like the best version of that, right? An exhibition that like I thought was exciting, delivered for the fans. But also, that was so long ago for Mike Tyson. The version that we saw
like early 50s.
Yeah, the version that we saw against Jake Paul just can't
against
do it
the
anymore.
guy around his size too. Floyd Mayweather is not that.
Roy's pretty small, but
So
no, not as small as Floyd though.
Yeah, Roy fought at heavyweight at one time.
Yeah, Floyd is very small.
Mike Roy was super interesting. It was in the very kind of early stages of the pandemic.
Yeah,
8 months in, but we were
Yeah.
still kind of dark and depressed at that point. And like Tyson hadn't fought, it was nostalgic. It was Roy. Okay, so I got the appeal. I got the appeal of Jake because he was so much younger and he's a novice compared to Tyson. I don't know. Okay, now what's the appeal here? You know what I mean? What's the hook?
Two of the greatest boxers ever to fight each other.
Just I feel like we just saw that with Tyson and Roy. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of the same hook.
I feel like Tyson and Roy didn't have the same vast reach that
was a
Jake
big
Paul
deal.
versus.
That wraps up today's video. Thanks for watching, and make sure to stay tuned for more boxing updates coming your way.